Not everyone is meant to understand your pain, and not everyone deserves to hear it. Some people won't even care, and some will take your struggles as entertainment. That's the reality. When you share your problems with others, you're inviting them into a part of your life they haven't earned the right to see. It's not that you should bottle it up or keep everything hidden, but not everyone has the wisdom or compassion to understand what you're going through. Some people don't wish you well. They'll smile to your face, but secretly hope you stumble. Struggles are meant to strengthen you. They are weights meant to be lifted by you. Because no one else can understand the true weight of your pain, your dreams, your battles. It's your journey, and telling everyone about the obstacles on your path won't make them easier. There's power in silence. There's strength in handling your business quietly. Not everyone needs to know. So when you face tough times, when life throws its worst at you, hold it close. Embrace that struggle. Learn from it. Let it mold you in silence. Only share with those who have proven themselves. Share with those who uplift you, who listen without judgment, who support without hesitation. They're rare, and until you find them, let your progress speak for itself. Instead of telling people your problems, show them your resilience. Let them see the results. Because when you keep going, when you succeed quietly, when you rise above silently, that's when people will start to wonder, how do they do it? Let your success be the answer. To every doubt, every struggle, every sleepless night, in the end, actions speak louder than words. So don't waste time explaining. Don't ask for pity. Go out there and prove them wrong. Take a moment and ask yourself, what do you gain from sharing your problems with the wrong people? In a world filled with noise, silence is your shield. When you stay silent, you keep your power. You don't let others define you by your struggles, by your pain. Instead, you define yourself by how you rise above it. Journaling, reflecting, sitting with your own thoughts. These are the practices that build inner strength. Not every struggle needs a spotlight. Not every difficulty deserves an audience. Sometimes the most powerful growth happens in the quiet moments. When it's just you and your thoughts, your dreams, your determination. Ask yourself, are you sharing your pain because you need help? Or because you want validation? Because when you're honest, you'll realize that validation doesn't solve problems. Validation won't get you out of bed at dawn. It won't put in the work. It won't keep you going when everyone else has given up. Only you can do that. And the less you seek approval, the more unstoppable you become. When you keep your challenges to yourself, you're forced to face them head on. You develop resilience. You develop grit. And over time, you learn to rely on yourself. You start trusting in your ability to overcome. Instead of depending on others' opinions or sympathy, it's in that silence, in those moments of solitude, that real strength is born. Remember, when the time comes, the world will see what you've been working toward. Your success, your growth, those are the loudest statements you'll ever make. Let those speak for you. You don't need to explain the journey if they can see where it's led you. So keep moving forward, quietly, powerfully, and let your progress be your voice. One day, when they see how far you've come, they'll realize that silence wasn't weakness. It was strength. Think about the journey that lies ahead of you. The road won't be easy, and there will be times when you feel tempted to seek comfort in sharing your struggles. But that comfort is temporary. Real comfort, real strength, comes from knowing that you faced every battle alone and conquered it. It's in those moments of solitude, of quiet self-reflection, that you find out who you truly are. Every sunrise is a reminder You've been given another day to fight, another day to grow, another day to move closer to your dreams. Embrace the solitude. Embrace the quiet work, because that's where your foundation is laid. That's where you become unbreakable. In this life, your strength will be tested. Your resolve will be questioned. But remember, it's not the noise that defines you. It's the work you do when no one's watching. People may doubt you. They may underestimate you. Let them. Because when the time is right, your success will silence every doubt. Hold your head high. Keep your goals close, your work private, and let your life be the loudest answer. The only person who truly needs to believe in you is you. You want to put a kid in front of an iPad playing games all day, perma-entertained with this crack addict dopamine mini transaction Candy Crush dildo, then take him off of that and put him in front of a boring book. And when he doesn't focus, you want to blame a disease instead of the fact he's simply bored and not scared of you. Why is there no ADHD in China? Because the parents in China know Kung Fu. That's why. Crock of shit. Absolute crock of shit, Matt Walsh. Kick your kids' asses if they fucking run their mouth. You can make fun of my parenting, but how come I'm more successful than you? And you can make fun of how I raise my kids, but they'll be more successful than yours. And my kids know dad gets mad and dad'll hit me. So I shut up and I behave. Yes, sir, no fucking sir. We were all raised getting our asses kicked, weren't we? When did this become wrong? Every single kid raised in the 80s got their ass kicked. No? Now it's become the worst thing in the world. You're going to damage their mentality. You're going to take away their originality. I don't want his originality. I want to eat his fucking dinner. He doesn't need originality. He's fucking 5. Originality to why he's fucking 5. All these fucking conservative dorks. Don't hate your kids. Let me tell you something. If you fuck with me too tough, I'll hit you. I don't give a shit if you're a kid. I don't give a shit if you're a man. I don't give a shit if you're a woman. It doesn't matter what you are. There is a line. Don't hit women. What if the woman comes up to me and fucking throws a petrol bomb on my girlfriend? What if a random chick comes up to me and tries to light my girl who I love on fire? What am I gonna do, stand there? Sorry, babe, I don't hit women. And just let her burn to death in a fireball? Sorry, babe. I'm sorry, I just don't want to hit women. How fucking gay is that? If a random girl comes up and goes anywhere near my girl, I'll beat the shit out of a bitch straight away. If a random girl comes up and hits my girl, I will fuck that girl up. Don't touch my property. You can't touch my car, my lawn, or my bitch. Come near my shit. I am playing games. So yeah, I hit a woman. Yeah. Play that in court. Yeah, I'll hit a man. The lines are different. Sure, there's different lines, but everyone's got a line. Men have the shortest line. Men get hit first. Women get a bit more tolerance. Children get a bit more tolerance. Bro, a cow's got a fucking line. There ain't nothing without a line. If a cow comes up to me, he's fucking with me too tough, I'll pick up a stick and fuck up a cow. You think I'm gonna fight a fucking cow? When I see these kangaroos on Instagram trying to like put their hands up, you think I'm gonna bust up a kangaroo? I do not like to hang around with men who suffer from a lack of women, because in my experience, any man who can't get women will eventually sell you out for women. It's too powerful a force. Too powerful a force. If you're completely sex deprived all the time, sooner or later you're going to sell your boys out for sex, whether it's his ex or some girl talking bad about your boy, but you really want the pussy, so you let her slide. If you're not good with girls, I don't want to talk to you. Second thing is money. You haven't got to be rich, but if you're starving, you're going to try and sneak some money out of somebody, right? If you can't eat, you'll do anything for food. If you can't pay the bills, you'll do anything for money. That means whether it's a plea bargain, whether it's trying to rob me, whether it's money sitting around my house. I don't want to talk to extremely broke people. I don't want to talk to extremely sex deprived people for the same reason I wouldn't have a whole bunch of food around a hungry person. Same reason. It's the first two things. Next thing is loyalty. And I know that's super hard to judge, but I really like to believe that the few people I hang around with, if we were all in separate police interviews and they were to come and say, hey, your boy turned, I could literally burst out laughing. said, bro, you better come with a new story, G. You better go away and think about it and come back. Well, we can talk, but don't try that one. Try again. So loyalty is very, very important. Next is bravery, because can't fight is fine, but won't fight is unacceptable on every level. If I'm with my 5 friends and I'm going toilet in the club and I come back and I see someone punch one of my friends, I am annihilating anybody in that guy's crew. We'll find out why later. My guy could have been wrong. It could have been my guy's fault. I'm just hitting him. I'm just knocking everyone. When everyone's asleep and the threat is neutralized, I'm like, bro, the fuck was that? But, oh, I started it. It's like, oh, I'm fucking. Ask for forgiveness later. First, people have to pay, right? We'll worry about the whys afterwards. So they have to have that loyalty and that devotion to the bravery, the ability to fight. I find it very crazy. I find it crazy, and I say this often to guys. I say, you're rolling around with these men who won't even fight to protect you because they're cowards. So they'll watch you get your head stomped to death and cower out and not even try and help you. And they're like, yeah, but he's funny. But he's funny? We're talking about life and death. You're talking about fucking funny? Like, so if I can smell on someone that they wouldn't even attempt, I don't want to be anywhere near them for the same reason. And general professionalism. I've developed a habit where I punish myself for the smallest unprofessional actions. If I misplace my keys or misplace my phone, and it takes me more than 10 minutes to find it, I'll punish myself for that. Regardless, whether it's I don't spend money this week, or I don't go here, or I'm canceling that, or I'm going to defer buying something I want to buy. I punish myself religiously so that next time I put my phone down, I know where I put my phone. Next time I put it down, I know where I put it all the time. When I put it down, I know where my phone is. So when I'm around people like, hey, I lost my keys, or hey, bro, I forgot. When I'm around sloppy people, I don't like it. I like people who have their lives in order. When I detect sloppiness, I don't really want them too close to me, because gaps are where things sneak in. Other things are basic OPSEC, really basic OPSEC. I like that if I'm around my friends, if I'm ever sitting with my back to a room, this is an enclosed environment, but in a normal restaurant, I never sit with my back to the room. But if I have to do it, I like that I never do it, but if I have to do it, the people I roll with, they'll literally give me a nod. We'll sit down at dinner and I have to sit here, they'll go. And they'll pay extra attention for me because I can't see behind me. I like that level of professionalism. I like that. I like people, like I said, don't get weak, no hangovers, no crying their eyes out, no cowardice. It's infectious. Don't like that around me. No negativity. Don't like that around me. So there's certain things that I create a very, very particular reality. And it's actually interesting because to me, these things are all normal. But when you have these kind of standards, it's pretty hard to find friends. You're like, oh, you're a dumbass. You're a pussy. You're like, and you don't talk to that many people. But if you get a crew together that act that way, it's amazing how, not to get all airy-fairy, but it's almost an intangible. When you have 6 men in one place who are perspicacious, who are paying attention, who do have their things right, who don't lose things, who do it, the whole room can smell it. When me and my crew walk in a room, even if it's almost like an energy. Some guy can be eating his dinner and not even see us walk in and go, 6 predators. It's like the rabbit when the fox comes. Like you can smell when the guys turn up. Do you know what I mean? And everyone's experienced it. Everyone's seen it. So anyone I associate with, I have these very, very stringent metrics, and they're basically just to make sure that nobody gets inspired by something they can't resist to snake us. And also nobody's overly sloppy and allows a way for us to be infiltrated and destroyed. And one of the easiest ways that people, especially in the modern world today, especially people in my position, are infiltrated and destroyed are women. So with women, I create that very heavily. If you get a guy who's thirsty and he's on your crew, let's say I have problems with another crew, let's say, and I know they have a member who's thirsty. That is the easiest job in the world. You get one hot bitch to Instagram message, you're gonna find out where they are, what they're doing, where they've been, the hotel room right now. It's fucking done deal. You can do whatever you want to them idiots, right? You gotta have guys who can turn that shit down. I've had it a bunch of times in my life where I've been in countries. I was in Sofia, Bulgaria. I was talking to this girl. She's like, hey, she's 10 out of 10. And I've been talking to her for a few weeks. She's like, hey, let's meet at this place. I'm like, let's go here. No, this is my favorite place. Let's go here. And I was like, no. I'll turn pussy down. I could have been wrong. Could have been right. Could have been right. We're never going to know. I'll turn it down. But if you have that guy in your crew, hey, bro, she's so hot, bro. She's so hot. That's problems for you and him and everyone else. So you got to be very careful with the kind of life you're living. But if you live with people who have their lives in order, it's important. But professionalism is also a really big one. When I see people who are sloppy It makes me very uncomfortable. Well, emotions are feedback. The idea that men don't feel emotions is incorrect. We feel emotions. I would actually argue we feel emotions with certain emotions stronger than women. I would argue that we feel heartbreak stronger than women. I would argue we feel anger like a woman could never understand. I would argue we are extremely emotional.
Rage,
pure rage. But it's feedback. So when you get the feedback, it's all about how you internalize it and how you process it, right? It's having stoicism's not feeling emotions. It's feeling the emotion and going, okay, why is this happening? How much does this really matter? What's the most intelligent move on the chessboard? I'm not even that good at chess, right? My father was a grandmaster. I'm like 1800 elo. I'm okay. I was a child chess prodigy, but I stopped playing chess professionally when I was like 8. So I'm as good now as I was. In fact, I'm worse now than when I was 8 because I've never taken any lessons or anything properly since because my mother and father broke up. We moved to England. My dad stayed in America. Lost my chess coach, and England didn't have a chess infrastructure. America had a chess infrastructure in the lower income schools. My dad used to go to the ghetto schools because he was black. Go to the black schools and teach them how to play chess. So we had a big infrastructure.
So you peaked at 8.
I peaked at 8, yeah. But chess is a fantastic game because in the game of chess, there's no luck. If you lose, no matter how well you played, if you lose, at some point you made a mistake. Even if it's the most minor mistake, you made a mistake. So you learn to understand that no matter what happens to you, if you lose a scenario, you made a mistake. Maybe it's a tiny one, maybe it was 2 years ago, whatever, but you made a mistake and you learn absolute and utter accountability for yourself. And that mentality is extremely powerful to apply to all things in life. The position I'm in now as the most hated man in the world, although I agree and I truly believe it's unfair, I still take complete responsibility for. I'm not going to sit here and say, I'm telling you why it happened when I talk about TikTok and YouTube shorts, but I'm not going to blame them. Absolutely, they're a company making money and they're monetizing the best they can. Fantastic. All of this is my fault. But the Bugatti on my drive is my fault. And the yacht is my fault. And the private jet's my fault. So it's all my fault. So I take the good with the bad. I take all responsibility for absolutely everything, including if a woman leaves me, if a woman stays, if I end up heartbroken, if I end up filled with rage, I take responsibility for that. If something happens to me that makes me enraged, I will take responsibility. Why has this happened to me? Why do I feel this way? How did I end up in this position? Is this healthy in this scenario? And sometimes it is. I've had scenarios in my life where I was prepared to die to protect somebody else, and I was enraged, and it was healthy. I've also had times where I'm in a room by myself, enraged, sitting there going, this is no good for anybody. I need to just calm the fuck down. So emotions are feedback, but stoicism is the ability to process them. And that's what you need to learn as a man. You're never going to be able to turn them off. You're going to feel them. You have to learn how to process them and turn them into a positive. It's energy. It's unlimited energy. I say this all the time. I say that the biggest periods of transformation in my life is when everything was going wrong. When my life was going good, I'm not a hedonistic person. I don't do drugs. I don't gamble. I don't do prostitutes. I don't do anything that hedonistic. But I'll certainly go on the yacht with a bunch of women I know and chill and have some vodkas and that kind of thing. When life's smooth, then it's semi-hedonistic, pretty relaxed. But when I make my biggest progress, when I really change who I am and change the world, that's when everything's fucked. When things go wrong, or I'm feeling things I don't want to feel, or bad things are happening, that's when I'm like, okay, I currently cannot sleep. I've completed the day's tasks. I've tried to go to bed. I can't sleep. More shit has to get done. That's when the amazing things happen in my life. When I was heartbroken, when I was whatever, well, everyone's been heartbroken. I can't remember a specific example. I hit the gym harder, right? If something goes wrong with your payment processor, that's when you get fucking inventive. That's business, right? That's when you get inventive. So all the bad things that happen to you as a man, if you're stoic, you get to take unlimited energy. Heartbreak is unlimited energy. So is depression. So is rage. So is sadness. All these negative emotions they tell you to collapse behind. It's like, people talk like, Bruce Lee says, be like water. And people see that as be fluid and just go with the flow. I disagree. If you're like water, you're necessary for life. You are scary when you're enraged. You're powerful. You're beautiful when you're calm. You're so many things when you're like water, right? So if I'm enraged, it's like water behind a dam. You just got to put the dam in place, and you got to get the turbo, the hydroelectrics put in. Don't tsunami your life. Put the energy somewhere. And this is the most beautiful thing about it, because people message me all the time like, oh, but Tate, you don't know how sad I feel. No, incorrect. I know exactly how sad you feel. Difference is I used it. And you're sitting here still crying, some random guy on email for the fucking 3rd month in a row. That's the difference between you and me, my friend. I was becoming a world champion kickboxer. I got to a point into it. People often talk about depression and say I don't understand it. I will say, listen, there's been times in my life where I was fully functional as an adult, I would never label myself depressed because I don't believe in the idea of labeling myself in a negative, because I don't believe in things that take power from me, which we'll talk about in a second. But there's been times in my life where I didn't give a fuck if I lived or died. There's been times in my life where I went to fight a man for money, and I didn't give a shit if I lost and even woke up again. Didn't give a fuck. I had nothing worth living for. I was brokey, didn't have a girlfriend, didn't have any fucking money, got a 2-day call to fight some world champion, had to lose 10 kilos in 2 days, had nothing else going for me, got on a plane to Dagestan and fucking won. There's been times I've done that. By all conventional wisdom, I was depressed, I was suicidal, but I was just like, no, I don't give a shit. That's when I was at my most powerful. Now if I get that call, I'm like, bro, I got a new car outside and shit. I'm not going to Dagestan, bro. Like, going to where? Sorry, how much money? Nah. But back then I was like, yeah, cool. Who is he? Oh, this guy. All right, fine. I didn't give a fuck. I was most powerful when I was sad, when I was depressed, when all these things. Mm-hmm. And the difference was the framing. I think it's a fantastic environment, and I think in an idealistic world, that's the way it would be. I think the reason it's not happening today is that I don't think many men actually benefit from marriages or relationships anymore. And people are always going to have to require some degree of incentive. I think that we've set up the world now in a way where men are seen as worker droids. They're expected to go work all day, come home, clean up as well, share the cleaning with the woman, no meal prepared for them, not have any authority over the household, and just be a worker droid and be sad. And I don't think that many people understand that men are intrinsically wired to desire respect amongst our peers and in our environments. This is why CEOs work so hard, because they get respect in their company. This is why we all want so much money and fast cars and status and influence, because we're respected. Men desire respect like we desire oxygen. And if a man's coming home to a household where he doesn't feel any respect, he's not going to want to be there for very long. And I think the way you fix this is you need to understand that many men don't have an incentive to be in the house anymore.